So Benny Safdie's new movie The Smashing Machine was decent. Now the main reason why I saw this movie was because it was directed by Benny Safdie, who alongside his brother wrote and directed one of my favorite movies ever, Good Time. Also wrote and directed Heaven Knows What alongside Uncut Gems. Heaven Knows What is a movie I haven't seen yet, but I'm very much looking forward to, and Uncut Gems is a movie I have to see again before I really solidify my opinions about it. Benny Safdie himself also played the character Nick in Good Time and was in Oppenheimer and The Ben Kenobi Show, interestingly enough. And I'm also really excited to compare this movie to his brother's movie that's coming out in a few months. Now to talk about the actual movie. Now I was very interested to see their very authentic shaky cam editing and cinematography be present in this movie. It's a style I very much enjoy coming from the Safdies, and it certainly is welcome in this movie. Although I have to say it doesn't feel as if this style is really fitting in this movie as much as well as it fitted in their other movies, but it's still welcome nonetheless. Now to address the elephant in the room, Dwayne Johnson's performance in this movie was not terrible and was actually pretty good throughout. It's very clear that he cared about this movie, especially given his history with the sport and his kind of background. There are a lot of emotions that he's able to authentically emulate, and there are a lot of variety of emotions that he's able to go through, and it's all very convincing and believable. Speaking of which, the makeup for this character was also very well done. At least it was for the first half of this movie. Near the end of the movie, it seemed like it was less present and less convincing. I do wish that was a more consistent aspect throughout this film, but hey, it's good for the first part of it. Emily Blunt's performance in this movie was also well done. She does have a very watchable dynamic with Dwayne Johnson's character, and it feels like their characters are very well written together. I was also really enjoying the score of this movie and the way that music was incorporated into it, and felt that it was very fitting for its scenes that it was present in. Now overall, those are well done elements to this movie, but they're not the whole movie in my opinion. Now I'd say the biggest factor to this movie that really deterred my experience with it is the fact that it does not do a great job of differentiating itself from other biopic movies. There are a lot of very basic story structures that this movie hits, and it's just kind of repetitive after a while. Speaking of repetitive, the fights between Emily Blunt's character and Dwayne Johnson's character are just so frequent in this movie, and they don't feel like they really have much of an impact. And they do come out of nowhere and don't really understand why they're fighting at some points to begin with. There are a few fight scenes that happen between those two characters, and it just feels really repetitive after a while and doesn't feel like it really impacts the movie much, and doesn't really feel like it's building to anything. Speaking of which, when the movie did try to build to something like the competition near the end of the movie, I just found myself being very uninvested what was happening. I really enjoyed this first part of the movie more than the second part of the movie, because the first part was much more focused on his personality and personal struggles, and Dwayne Johnson's performance was able to encapsulate those elements very well. But when the movie went further on, it just seemed like it was more concerned with the competition, and in all honesty, it was just very difficult to be invested in that. Now overall, this is not a terrible movie by any means, but it certainly is uninvesting near the end in my opinion. Now if you're a fan of the actual real life character of this movie and you want to see it, then by all means go for it. If you like Benny Safdie and want to support his work, then by all means go for it. But as for me, I'm going to forget about this one pretty soon. I still love Benny Safdie as a director, and I'll definitely see what he makes next. As for me, this one gets a 5 out of 10.